Hello everyone, welcome to Glowing Secrets, powered by Glow. Well, life can be really beautiful if you find the right rhythm in life. My today's guest has found the correct balance, the rhythm in beauty. She's Charmaine Willis.
Hi.
Hi. Well, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you because you represent the youth, the beautiful youth.
Thank you.
Tell me, what do you think about beauty?
I know that there are so many meanings and so many definitions and how, people look at it, and there are different ways, and there's a broader
Perspective.
Anyone can give a different answer, but for me, to be honest, beauty is such a personal thing. It's more of finding yourself and accepting yourself and being confident with what you have is pretty much beauty for me. Like, even for an example, I have 5 strands of gray hair here and I haven't done anything. Pretty much I'm embracing it in a way, but you know what I mean. It's pretty much self-acceptance is pretty much beauty for me, and being super confident with it without thinking that you have to fit to a social norm or a standard that's given by Hollywood or music videos or even the modeling industry. People tend to just really get insecure thinking that's how we're supposed to look and
they give you a frame and
they pretty much give you a frame, and then people who have this people who are not very much exposed to these kind of things, they think that's what we are
supposed to look like.
And they get very insecure, and when you get insecure, you pretty much don't love yourself, and when you don't love yourself, you're not confident. So for me, beauty is pretty much having that confidence and being okay with who you are and trying to embrace that and fly.
Yeah, but someone might just turn around and say, you're beautiful, so it's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
But if you're not that much of a beautiful person, then how can you be confident?
Exactly, but then again, even people who look pretty or beautiful to other people, they also have gone through very painful journeys. For an example, me, I remember as an adult from 21, I used to suffer from adult acne, and it was a genetic thing because my dad had. So being on stage and everybody looking
Acne
at your face and
thing that you
singing,
want to have,
and that's the last thing I want, because face is everything, right? And especially in this entertainment industry. And plus, it gets even worse when you keep applying makeup every day, and your skin never gets a rest. And even makeup-wise, I was still learning, so I didn't know things that I know now. So I did all the wrong things, and I graded the skin and wrong products, and even the diet. I didn't know that I was allergic to dairy. So I kept drinking milk and I was breaking out. So that itself was a long journey, and now I know what's good for me.
So awareness, basically you should know what's good for you and what suits you.
Yeah, because the thing is, even if you go to a gym now, or even if you, let's say, I want to lose weight, and there are so many things to do, right? So many diet plans, they call it
Everyone
keto
is giving you advice.
and everything. Yeah, and you go to a gym and everybody wants you to. They pretty much give you a specific workout routine, and they have their own agenda in mind, right? But at the end of the day, I think what works for us is the best thing. The diet that works for me might not work for you, or even for another person, or what worked for them might not work for me. So that journey takes a lot of time, because it's
you have to experiment.
Because you have to experiment, and you're going to fail. You're going to try another product, and that's going to break you out, and you're going to let it heal, and then you want to try something else. But that process is long, but then again, once you settle in, then you pretty much know your safe space.
Concrete after that.
So even people who look beautiful to other people, I'm sure they have gone through crazy journeys like that, but it's just not prominent. Yeah. So that is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, because I've heard of many celebrities talking about depression, and they've gone through so many stages in their life when they didn't feel pretty themselves. But on stage, they are vibrant, they perform, because they're different people altogether.
My entire life, I channeled about 10 dermatologists, can you believe? To name it, to so many doctors, and they gave me medicine. So from 21, I was taking pills. antibiotics, and then I was like, no, this should not be the case. And they never told me not to drink milk, and
So they didn't find the real cause.
no, because I mean that's the whole thing behind the pharmaceutical industry, right? Like they want patients, they want people to keep coming back, but they never give you like the proper information on nutrition and the vitamins that we need for our body and the things that we should not intake. So even if we has a vitamin like a mineral deficiency, they would not really tell you. They'll just try to put you on medication. And I knew that I'm not like solving the root cause, and I just like keep taking things just to
Adding
minimize
on. Yeah.
the effects. But then I stopped everything. There was a time, I think probably I was 26, 27, I was like, I'm not going to take another pill. And then I tried to experiment with food to see what's good for me. And so then I figured, okay, these products I can't have. And it was almost like, I mean, do I really have to live and do I not? I mean, cutting so many things that I like, I felt like it was not fair at the same point, but I was like, hey, listen, if my body doesn't like it, I mean, I should not fall in love with it. If my body rejects it, then it's a problem.
Yeah. So self-learning.
Oh yeah, and also I think you need a lot of will, because I mean, when you build this self-discipline thing with your food, and especially in Sri Lanka, we are a high-carb country. Wherever you go, it's like either rice and curry or pizza, I mean,
Pasta,
pitu and
yeah.
puri, wherever you go, it's just like carbs. And then the moment the healthy food, like let's say if you want like salads, or if you want like fish fillet with like vegetables, it's so hard to find that. And also on top of that, it's very expensive. So it's so hard to even like go through like a healthy, and look at almond milk and oat milk. I mean, for a dairy-free person, it's hard,
It's
right?
rare,
It's
yeah.
about, I mean, it's so pricey. So knowing all those things and trying to work out something, I think that takes a lot of courage and a lot of will and determination.
So hats off to you.
So I mean, yeah, that's what people can't see, but I mean, those are the battles that we all have to
Fight
within, and you know,
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
So any regime that you follow beauty-wise, other than this food challenge that you had?
Yeah, so basically I go with the herbs, because that's where we come from. So I like my turmeric and the whole works. It's like I have this turmeric curd and bees honey kind of thing that I do, but not all the time because I really don't have time for it. I also I know that facials are very bad for me because I have such a reactive skin. I mean, now that I don't have acne, but still I know my skin is very reactive. So I don't try to aggravate and like do this whole facial thing and all that stuff. I don't. Masks, I rely on those. Yeah, and I realized like the moment I use cold water face washes, my skin feels much better. Because I remember.
So basically, you have to identify your skin. You cannot listen to someone else.
Oh yeah, and also because I used to love hot water, so when I bathe, like my entire washroom steams. I pretty much can't see myself in the mirror, and I knew that was also bad for skin. So things like that, I think
You
I
learn
pretty much,
while doing it.
Yeah, and also I try to keep this whole makeup thing very low key, and even now that I don't have acne, I don't have to like pretty much like
cover much.
so much. And even I realize sometimes once in a while if you see a blemish or a pimple, it's fine. I mean, we are human anyway, no big deal.
So just before a big performance, say you have to get on stage, what time will you start dressing, or what is the preparation like?
So
Clothes wise, makeup wise, hairdo, all that.
Basically, I'm a very messy person, and I always get my mom involved when I need to pack. She's the one who shows me where she kept the stockings or whatever this and that. I always keep saying like, Mama, where's that, this, that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always there. But then after my, I have like a rehearsal with my dancers, and if I have dancers for that particular show, and then I have like, I usually have bananas and like water and coffee.
Just before a show.
Yeah, pretty much like, because banana is for energy and coffee is again energy, and then water just to keep myself hydrated, because if I have anything heavy, I feel bloated. So depending on the outfit, if I'm showing my midriff, then I I'm very strict. But if it doesn't show, then it's okay. I just go with something. But I don't try to be so full on stage. Then I feel heavier and then tired and all that stuff. So after that, I pack a good meal for sure.
After the show.
After the show. Then makeup, I pretty much do it by myself because I've been singing for a long time and I've been doing it
Used
for a
to it
long time.
now.
I pretty much, makeup is always easy. Hair is the tricky part because it needs a lot of energy to, do that thing.
And it has to be free also, you cannot have
Yeah,
so
so
much
if it's like a big show, then I pretty much go to a salon and get it done. But if not, I just do it at home. I get my sister.
Whom do you idolize as a performer?
I mean, there are so many people, but something personal to me would be, I know she's not in the game right now, but Nicole Scherzinger. She was a leading singer at Pussycat Dolls. So I think she's got the style.
But they have
They're back
they're
together
back
now.
together
Yes.
now, yeah.
They're back together. She's got a style, and I feel like she looks amazing on stage, and she's an amazing dancer. I think she's like an amazing personality, overall. And she designs her own clothes, and so she pretty much does like all these things. So I think I like
So
that.
what's
good
the
balance.
difference you see? I mean, there is the difference in local and international artists. I mean, especially when it comes to female.
Yeah.
Most of the Sri Lankans will worship the international stars, even if they're not clothed.
Yeah.
But if you all go on stage like that, it'll be a huge scenario. So how do you? What's the difference, and how do you react to that?
Yeah, you mean like when it comes to the dressing sense? Yeah, exactly. I mean, first of all, it's a mindset, and the mindset that you developed at your home as a kid and what your parents taught you. I mean, that's what they carry up to now, right? Even people with trauma, like even the, let's say, narcissistic men or codependent like women, like that's the wounded part of each gender. So these people have this mindset because that's what they've been taught, or they had like a toxic family
Some issue,
mindset,
yeah.
or even like the exposure on less education about it. So I mean, when you're not very open-minded, or when when you're not exposed to all this kind of education,
When you live in a box,
you
basically.
pretty much live in a box. And even in school, like they pretty much skip sex education. So when you know nothing about sex, everything
You see,
especially
yes.
boys, they rely on porn, or they see like a woman with a butt shot walking on the road and they get excited because that's what they see, right? And parents, they really don't teach kids about the mechanisms of sex and how biological and natural it is, and how to not look down on it. So I mean, there are so many people, like parents, who are like pretty much willingly, deliberately, they teach their kids, hey, it's nothing normal. And now you see on TV like a couple kissing, like all you want to do is close the kid's eyes. So if you don't normalize certain things, it'll never be normalized in Sri Lanka, So that's the sad part
But it's
about
always
it.
normal with the international stars.
Exactly, because I mean, it's a part of their culture. I mean, even wearing clothes like that on stage, because they have seen it and they know what it is, and it's so normalized there that you don't have to feel like, ugh, you don't have to be shy, or you don't have to feel like embarrassed. And here it's taboo. It's complete taboo here. So I mean, even in India, all we talk about is like, rape or all these things. It's coming from repressed sexual tension built up in men. That's because of all these things, right? So I mean,
So you take it with a cold shoulder. I mean, you don't mind people talking about it.
I would like to normalize it as much as I can. So even if I can wear it every single day, I would wear. I mean, like I would want to like teach everyone, hey, it's normal. Just like grow up, like, and or even like my friends who have like small kids, I always say like normalize this, and like just kiss in front of them, and don't act as if it's like a secretive thing to do. And sex education is very important because our schools don't do that. So at least as parents, we need to take that. I'm not a parent, but we need to take that responsibility and like teach kids.
Yes. What advice do you give the younger generation regarding beauty? I mean, there are many girls out there who want to become performers, or you know, with these reality shows, you get girls and boys coming out, but they don't sustain in the industry because of some loophole. So not only because of talent, but you know, because they don't look like a performer. So what advice can you give them?
No, I think first of all we need to understand, like, I mean, all I can say is, if you really want to do something, be it singing or acting or whatever, just know deep down why you really want to do it and have an emotional connection towards your dream. So then you know that it's a doable thing. Sometimes, like, I mean, everyone on Instagram is a model, but we, like you yourself, I mean, you're a former model, and you know being a model in real life is not easy, and you can't just expect to eat like a bug packet for lunch and then walk on ramp and act like, you know, that's not the definition of modeling that you look for. It's a complete different standard. And right now everybody they'll just do a photo shoot and Instagram, and it's an influencer model. So what about the real models, I mean, who really work hard, and people who work out every day, and then people who go through strict diets, and people, you know, I mean, it's a different life.
There's a big process behind it.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, like, know the right reasons why you're doing it, and if you know that it's certain, like, build an emotional connection with that, and then nothing will stop you.
You have a lovely sister.
Yes, I do.
Do you all share any beauty secrets or tips with
Of course,
each
because she
other?
also had like similar skin problems like I think for me it was a little worse, but then we pretty much.
How did you all overcome it?
I mean, it was difficult because I remember there were times that while I wear my makeup, I used to cry. Like, literally, I had to put foundation all over my face again because I cried. So there were situations like that. It was very hard. But nobody saw really, except for like my mom, my sister, and you know, my closest friends and all that stuff.
So you did a real good cover-up job.
Oh yeah, people had no idea. I mean, like, people would just say things like, I think maybe you need to wash your face better. I'm like, hello, I just wash my face like 10 times a day, like, you know. So people think like acne is something like that. It's a hygienic issue, which is not. It's like a hormonal thing, right? So I mean, she and I shared a lot of things, and with makeup tips, or like we live under the same roof, so we do the masks and the whole works. And when she researches about like skin, if she finds something new, she'll come and tell me, hey, you know what, maybe you should not have this, and all that stuff.
So self-research and self-confidence.
Oh yeah, because I mean, the doctors will definitely not tell you what's wrong, and how, even if you know something's wrong, they would not give you the root cause, like a solution. They'll just like let you, hey, you know what, the antibiotics, what would that do? That will just minimize and stabilize the issue, right? So it's all up to us. It's really up to us.
Rediscover ourselves and understand ourselves better.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Shamim,
Thank you for having me.
being
That
on
was
my
amazing.
show. Yes, because we want the youth to know the real reasons behind the struggles the performers go through. So thank you so much for being on my show. Glowing Secrets will be right back with another celebrity next week.